Welcome to this deep dive.
Okay.
And today we're going to be exploring a science fiction classic,
Yeah.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
All right.
This book, it's a bit of a phenomenon.
It is.
In some corners of the galaxy, it's actually replaced the Encyclopedia Galactica as the go-to source of knowledge.
That's pretty wild. I mean, you have this incredibly dense and comprehensive repository of all knowledge
Right.
and wisdom being usurped by this,
Yeah.
this quirky, often humorous, and sometimes downright inaccurate guide.
Right.
It makes you wonder what that says about us.
Yeah. What is it about this book? Maybe it's the "Don't Panic" inscribed on the cover, or the fact that it's slightly cheaper.
Right.
But there's something about this book that captures people's imaginations. It's more than just a funny read.
Right.
It tackles some pretty big questions.
Yeah.
Like the meaning of life, the universe,
Mm-hmm.
and, well, even the destruction of Earth.
Speaking of Earth's destruction,
Right.
that's actually where we meet our protagonist, Arthur Dent, an average guy about to have a very bad day.
Yeah, imagine waking up hungover only to find out your house is being demolished to make way for a bypass.
Oh.
And then just as you're processing that, you discover that the entire Earth is about to be destroyed for a hyperspace bypass.
And who are the culprits behind this cosmic demolition project?
Right.
The Vogons, a race of bureaucratic, poetry-loving aliens who wouldn't know beauty if it hit them in the face.
Oh, the Vogons, their justification for destroying Earth.
Ooh.
Well, it was in the way of their hyperspace bypass.
Exactly.
And all the necessary paperwork was filed.
Of course.
It's almost comical how they approached this with such
Right.
bureaucratic indifference.
Yeah, that's where the satire comes in, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
I mean, the Vogons embody this heartless bureaucracy that prioritizes efficiency above all else.
Right.
They're so focused on the rules and regulations that they completely disregard the consequences of their actions. The beauty they're destroying, the lives they're extinguishing.
Thankfully, Arthur has an unexpected ally in Ford Prefect,
Yes.
who reveals himself to be an alien researcher
Right.
who's been stranded on Earth for the past 15 years.
That's right. And it's Ford who introduces Arthur to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
Oh, yeah.
the book that gives our story its name.
Right.
It's this incredible electronic encyclopedia
Right.
that's packed with all sorts of bizarre and useful information.
Like the importance of towels, for instance.
yes.
According to the guide, a towel is just about the most massively useful thing an interstellar hitchhiker can have.
Absolutely. It's practical, of course, but it's also symbolic.
Right.
The towel represents preparedness, resourcefulness, the ability to adapt and thrive in unpredictable situations.
And then there's the babblefish, this tiny creature that you stick in your ear, and it translates any language in the galaxy for you.
I mean, the babblefish is an interesting concept.
Yeah.
On the surface, it seems like the perfect solution to communication barriers. Instant translation, no more misunderstandings. But if you think about it, does it really address the root of the problem?
You're right. Communication is about so much more than just words.
Exactly.
There are cultural nuances, social contexts, emotional subtext.
Exactly. The babblefish might bridge the linguistic gap.
Right.
But what about the deeper, more subtle barriers?
Yeah.
The book seems to be hinting at something more complex than just a technological fix
Right.
for communication.
And of course, the guide also has an entry on the Vogons,
Yes.
which paints a rather unflattering picture of their history, culture, and general unpleasantness.
The entry on the Vogons is hilarious, but it also makes you think,
Mhm.
what if our own bureaucratic systems, with all their rules and regulations, were taken to such an extreme?
Yeah.
What would that say about our society?
It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of losing sight of the human element,
Absolutely.
of sacrificing compassion and creativity at the altar of efficiency.
Now, Arthur's adventures don't stop with the Vogons.
Okay.
He soon crosses paths with the two-headed, three-armed
Oh.
Zaphod Beeblebrox,
Wow.
the semi-galactic president who's gone rogue and stolen a very special spaceship.
This spaceship, the Heart of Gold, is powered by something called the Infinite Improbability Drive,
Yes.
a device that can literally turn the impossible into the possible.
And the technology behind it is quite fascinating.
Got it.
It involves a Bamblewini 57 submedicine brain and a Brownian motion producer.
Wow.
It's basically taking the unpredictable nature of reality and harnessing it for space travel.
And it's this improbability drive that allows Zaphod to whisk Arthur and Ford away from the doomed Earth.
Which brings us to Zaphod's quest.
Okay.
He's on a mission to find the legendary planet of Magrathea,
Magrathea.
a world known for building custom-made planets for the galaxy's super rich.
Imagine a planet-building industry. What does that say about wealth and consumerism taken to their ultimate extreme?
It raises some interesting questions, doesn't it? What happens when nature itself becomes a commodity? What are the ethical implications of crafting entire worlds to cater to the whims of the ultra-wealthy?
It's a commentary on the excesses of capitalism
Absolutely.
and the lengths to which people will go to satisfy their desires, even on a cosmic scale.
Right.
But as we discover, even Magrathea, this pinnacle of extravagance, has seen better days.
The planet-building industry collapsed when the galactic economy went bust,
Oh,
leaving Magrathea in a state of induced coma, waiting for a time when the galaxy could once again afford its services.
the rise and fall of Magrathea's economy mirrors our own economic cycles, doesn't it?
It does.
It's a reminder that even the most prosperous civilizations are vulnerable to collapse, especially when they're built on unsustainable practices.
And it's on this seemingly dormant planet that the Heart of Gold, with its improbability drive, manages to land,
Wow.
despite the planet's unique and rather inconvenient defense system.
And this is where things take a truly bizarre turn because, as it turns out,
Yeah.
Earth wasn't just some random planet chosen for destruction.
No, it was.
It was a custom-made creation, a giant computer, commissioned to calculate the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything.
That's right.
And who commissioned this grand project?
Well, a group of hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings who just happen to look a lot like mice.
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 Wow. It makes you wonder what question could be so important that it would require a planet-sized computer and millions of years to calculate.
Right.
And if the answer is 42, what does that even mean?
That's the real mystery, isn't it? I mean, the supercomputer Deep Thought provided the answer, but it never revealed the actual question.
Right?
You know, it's this profound cosmic joke, a riddle without a solution.
Yeah.
Or perhaps the solution is simply that there is no solution.
But the mice, they seem convinced that the question exists,
Yeah.
and they're willing to go to great lengths to find it. They even propose a rather unsettling idea to Arthur.
They want to dissect his brain,
What is?
believing that somewhere in the subconscious patterns of the last human who lived on Earth, the ultimate question might still reside.
It raises some ethical questions, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
How far are we willing to go in our pursuit of knowledge?
Right.
Is it ever justifiable to violate someone's autonomy in the name of scientific advancement?
It's a dilemma that has plagued scientists and philosophers for centuries.
Right.
Where do we draw the line between curiosity and compassion, between the pursuit of understanding and the respect for individual rights?
Thankfully, before Arthur becomes an unwilling brain donor,
Right.
things take a chaotic turn. The Galactic Police, alerted to Zaphod's presence, attack Magrathea,
Oh, no.
leading to a wild chase through the planet's interior.
And it's during this chaotic escape that we encounter another unforgettable character,
Okay, who's that?
Marvin the paranoid android.
Marvin the paranoid android.
Yeah. Marvin is this perpetually depressed robot
Right.
with a brain the size of a planet.
Oh, wow.
He's constantly complaining about the futility of existence, the pointlessness of everything.
He's a fascinating character, isn't he?
He is.
On one hand, he's a comical representation of existential angst.
Yeah.
But on another level, he embodies this deep-seated pessimism
Right.
that I think many of us can relate to, especially when faced with the vastness and indifference of the universe.
I think so, too.
I find him quite endearing, actually.
Really?
Maybe he's the dry wit,
Okay.
the way he delivers his complaints with such deadpan resignation.
There's a certain charm to his pessimism, I'll grant you that.
Right.
It's a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming absurdity,
Yeah.
a bit of cynicism can be a coping mechanism,
Right.
a way to maintain a sense of perspective.
And despite his constant grumbling,
Yeah,
Marvin plays a crucial role in their escape.
he does.
His negativity, it seems, has some unexpected benefits.
Indeed, it's often the most unlikely characters who step up in moments of crisis.
Right.
And so Arthur fords Zaphod and Marvin, along with Trillian, an astrophysicist who joins Zaphod's crew,
Right.
escape Magrathea aboard the Heart of Gold, leaving behind the mice their unfinished Earth and the lingering mystery of the ultimate question.
And their adventures continue, taking them to some truly extraordinary places, like
Yeah.
the restaurant at the end of the universe, where you can dine while watching the universe collapse and be reborn.
It's a mind-boggling concept. A restaurant that exists outside of conventional time and space.
Right.
It plays with our perception of reality questioning the very nature of beginning and end.
It's all very Douglas Adams, isn't it?
It is.
This playful blend of science fiction philosophy and absurdity.
Precisely, it's a testament to his genius that he can make us laugh.
Right.
At the same time that he's making us think about the nature of existence,
Right.
the meaning of it all.
And throughout their travels,
Yeah.
Arthur continues to learn about the universe, about himself, and about the strange interconnectedness of everything.
He encounters the ruler of the universe,
Wow.
who turns out to be a rather ordinary man in a bathrobe,
Okay.
learns about the ancient supercomputer Hector, who created Earth as part of its own grand experiment, and faces the threat of the cricket robots,
Okay.
a race of beings bent on destroying everything that exists.
And it's through these encounters, these absurd and often dangerous situations, that Arthur begins to piece together the puzzle of his own existence.
Yeah, he discovers that he's not entirely human,
Wow.
that his journeys intertwine with Zaphod's in ways he never could have imagined,
Right.
and that he might just hold the key to understanding the ultimate question, even if he doesn't know what that question is.
It's a story that constantly challenges our perceptions, subverts our expectations,
Yeah.
and reminds us that the universe is a much stranger and more wonderful place than we could ever imagine.
And just when you think you've got a handle on things,
Yeah.
the narrative takes another unexpected turn. It's revealed that Zaphod, with his 2 heads and 3 arms,
Right.
wasn't just a random eccentric who stumbled into this cosmic adventure.
He had a purpose,
He did.
a destiny orchestrated by a being who exists outside of time and space, a being named Zarniwoop.
Zarniwoop believes that Zaphod, with his unique blend of charisma and recklessness,
Right.
is the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe.
But Zaphod, being Zaphod, is more interested in the thrill of the moment, the next adventure,
Right.
than in fulfilling some grand cosmic purpose.
And yet, even in his impulsiveness,
Yeah.
his seemingly random actions, there's a sense that he's being guided, nudged in a particular direction.
It makes you wonder about free will, doesn't it?
It does.
Do we truly have control over our choices, or are we all just players in a game we don't fully understand?
It's a question that has fascinated philosophers and theologians for centuries.
Right.
And Adams doesn't offer any easy answers.
No.
He simply presents the paradox, leaving us to ponder the implications.
And amidst all this cosmic chaos, Arthur finds himself drawn back to Earth. Not the original Earth, of course,
Yeah.
which was destroyed by the Vogons, but a replacement Earth created by Slartipartfast,
Oh!
a planet designer who takes great pride in his work, especially his fjords.
The return to Earth, even a replica, represents a sense of grounding,
Yeah.
a return to familiarity after a long and disorienting journey.
But this new Earth is not without its quirks. The dolphins, it seems, had evacuated the planet before its destruction,
Oh.
leaving behind a message for humanity.
What's that?
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
It's a poignant farewell, isn't it?
Yeah.
It speaks to the interconnectedness of life,
Right.
the importance of respecting all creatures, even those we might not fully understand.
And it's on this new Earth that Arthur finds a sense of belonging, a place where he can finally be himself, even if he's still not quite sure who that self is.
He even finds love
Oh, wow.
with a woman named Fenchurch, who can fly thanks to a minor malfunction in the reality continuum.
It's a reminder that even in the face of cosmic absurdity,
Right.
love and connection can still flourish.
But their newfound peace is short-lived.
Oh, no.
The cricket robots, those agents of universal destruction,
Right.
they haven't forgotten about Earth.
They return determined to finish what they started to eradicate, all life in the universe.
The cricket robots represent this nihilistic impulse, this rejection of everything that exists.
Right.
They're driven by a belief that the universe is meaningless, that the only way to escape the inherent suffering of existence is to obliterate it entirely.
It's a chilling thought, isn't it?
It is.
This complete and utter annihilation of everything, driven by a belief that existence itself is flawed.
It's the ultimate expression of despair, a rejection of any possibility of meaning or purpose.
And so Arthur finds himself facing the ultimate challenge. How do you stop a force that's driven by such a profound sense of nihilism?
The answer, as it turns out, lies in the most unexpected of places, a game of Brocchian ultra cricket.
Brocchian ultra cricket? That sounds utterly bizarre.
It is. It's a game that defies all logic and reason. Imagine a sport played with planets as balls, black holes as wickets, and spaceships as bats.
Okay.
It's chaos incarnate.
And how does a game like that stop the cricket robots?
It's a distraction, a diversionary tactic. By activating this ancient defense system, which just happens to be this absurd game,
Right.
Arthur manages to buy some time to throw the robots off balance.
It's a brilliant move,
Yeah.
really. Using absurdity as a weapon against nihilism.
Right.
It's like fighting fire with, well, utter nonsense.
It's a testament to the power of the unexpected, the unpredictable. Sometimes the most effective solutions are the ones that defy all logic.
And so while the cricket robots are busy trying to comprehend the rules of Brocchian ultra cricket, Arthur and his companions manage to escape, leaving the fate of the universe hanging in the balance.
The ending of the book is intentionally ambiguous. We don't know if the robots are defeated, if the universe is saved.
It's almost as if Adams is saying that the journey is more important than the destination,
Right.
that the search for meaning for answers is an ongoing process, not a finite goal.
Perhaps the real question isn't what the meaning of life is,
Right.
but rather, how do we create meaning in a universe that seems inherently meaningless?
It's a question that each of us must answer for ourselves. And The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, with all its absurdity, its wit, and its profound insights, provides a framework for that exploration, a roadmap for navigating the chaos of existence.
It reminds us to embrace the unknown, to question our assumptions, to find humor in the face of adversity, and to never lose sight of the importance of towels.
Because, as the guide itself says, don't panic.
Right.
And always remember, there's a whole universe out there waiting to be explored.
And on that note, we conclude our deep dive into The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We hope you've enjoyed the journey.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those towels handy.